Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfripi and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilaiti Ambale and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
In the news tonight, Rambha and Beeman talked coalition. Man questioned regarding burnt buried remains of wife. And FEO reveals pre-polling procedure.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
SODELPA leader Sitiveni Rambha and National Federation Party leader Professor Beeman Prasad have both confirmed having talks to form a coalition for the upcoming general election. After many months of reluctance to speak about this burning issue, the two leaders have finally admitted the partnership talks after former NFP president and now Ho Party leader Tupondrani Dalo revealed to FBC News in an exclusive interview that she left the NFP because of its decision to work with SODELPA. Ali Kimbia with the story.
Their decision was to work with all parties, and that includes the party SODELPA.
It's finally confirmed. SODELPA and NFP have had talks to form a coalition.
We were talking on a pre-election coalition where we would all come together, and that invitation was open to all the parties.
The NFP leader, however, is at pain to explain that the talks with SODELPA was for a partnership and not a coalition.
As far as we are concerned, that was never on the cards for us. All we are saying is we work with political parties on issues of national interest. And right now, NFP is working with other opposition political parties on the issue of election.
However, Rambha confirms a collision with NFP was on the card for a while until the NFP leader decided to pull out.
Until NFP announced that it was going to go it alone. But we continue to cooperate on issues of making the elections more transparent and fair.
The NFP is going to fight the election on its own. And any talk of coalition would be after the election if no party has the majority.
A collision between the NFP and Rambha's SVT in 1999 was such a massive disaster for both parties that the NFP managed to win only one parliamentary seat. It's a repeat of this type of rejection by Indo-Fijian voters that got Beeman Prasad reluctant to be seen having any coalition talks with Rambha's SODELPA now. This despite Rambha reiterating today that the doors are still open for the NFP to form a coalition government with SODELPA. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
A police investigation is underway into the discovery of what are believed to be burnt human remains in Waithomba, Nandi. Police say a man in his 20s is being questioned in relation to the discovery. It is understood the man is also being questioned about the disappearance of his wife, who was reported missing by her family on the 11th of this month. Police say as a result of their questioning, they believe the man inflicted serious harm on his wife. Their questioning also led police to search his compound in Waithomba, where they found buried what are believed to be burnt human remains. The remains found have been sent to the forensic department for examination. The Fijian Elections Office has for the first time revealed its pre-polling layout through its online interactive platform. Supervisor of Elections Mohammed Saneem says in order to ensure no Fijian is left out, the FEO will also be using helicopters, boats and even walking as ways to reach the designated pre-polling stations. Rachel Nath has more.
These are the venues where the Fijian Elections Office will conduct pre-polling a week before the election day.
We carried out a polling station locator exercise in 2015, and based on the data that we collected, we developed the first polling venue locator map, and then we came up with naming schedules for polling venues.
FEO Geospatial Officer Leo Vanua Lailai says the online interactive platform is a 3D mapping app designed to give voters a chance to understand how pre-polling teams will carry out the election.
The team starts at the Rak area office and collects the ballot box for Nasiani Community Hall. And as you scroll through the story, the red routes on the map will tell the viewers how the team will travel to the respective polling venues to carry out the polling.
The platform will be made available to the public through the FEO website and will also be distributed to all political parties once the writ of the election is issued. Rachel Nav, FBC News.
National Federation Party leader Professor Biman Prasad has once again stated that he does not recognise Ashwin Raj as Fiji's Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission Director. Speaking on FBC TV's For the Record show last night, Professor Prasad said he does not even recognise Raj's role as the Media Industry Development Authority Chair. Kelly Vavala reports.
Media freedom.
When asked about being criticised on his stance on media freedom by Human Rights Director Ashwin Raj, the NFP leader had this to say.
We don't take any note of Ashwin Raj as MIDA chair, nor do we take any note of him as the Director of Human Rights Commission, because we don't believe that, and a lot of experts, even the UN Human Rights Commissioner pointed out that there are structural flaws and that these institutions are not independent. So let's not talk about it.
Meanwhile, the Human Rights Director and MIDA chair, while slamming these comments, says it is nothing new, as Prasad has always claimed that he works for the government and should resign.
That's the only thing he can say, exactly because he cannot engage with me either intellectually or politically as an equal. Precisely because if you look at his arguments around human rights, it's flawed. You look at his arguments around the question of equality, it's fundamentally flawed.
Raj says they're independent and a lot of Fijians have raised issues with them.
And when he says, we don't take note, who is this we that he's referring to? What about the hundreds of people who come through the Human Rights Commission, who lodge a complaint, go through the courts with us and actually win?
Ashwin Raj says Prasad has become redundant, boring and has always been resting onto other people's statements, which is nothing new. Kelly Badala, FBC News.
More than 1.7 million litres of emergency water supply has now been distributed in the Asawas in the Western Division. Media Liaison Officer at the Commissioner Western's office, Irami Lewaravu, says the most recent carting has gone as far as Yasawa Irara with the villages in Tevi, Dalomo, Bukama, Nambukeru, and Nabotua. The emergency carting is the result of the meteorological drought which has affected parts of the Western and Northern divisions since last month. Lewaravu says a total of 11 trips have been completed, with more than $61,000 expended on the barge charges. The next trip will be to Naisesili, Nadula and Malakati on Wednesday. Still to come, boat operators ignoring safety rules. And Rambuka's bail conditions relaxed. Details after the break.
Bula, neva ngo malakai leloma, ngo ngai nakas on do magrong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Hoya ubasit sai sa Ilambasa, ya on do talita na warong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Guya do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Naivengo fane na tao nyo singa toka kita do talita ka ng Bula FM nambang 2 na sere.
Bula FM nambang 2 na sere.
Six boat collisions since June last year have triggered the Maritime Safety Authority to examine whether small boat operators are following the training they've been given. Acting Chief Executive Captain Philip Hill says despite the training, some boat operators ignore what they've learnt. Savara Tambor reports.
MSAF has conducted 4 training sessions for small boat operators in the outer islands in an effort to improve safety at sea. However, Captain Philip Hill says if they continue to neglect simple rules, collisions at sea will continue.
They travel at high speeds, and when they collide, they really have a big impact on those who are on those boats, because they don't, first of all, they don't have seat belts. Secondly, if they were wearing life jackets, they would have some cushioning on the impact within the boat itself.
Anyone operating a boat at sea must be licensed. Qualification and Licensing Department Manager Captain Thomas Ikete has highlighted few challenges faced when training boat operators.
You know, the locations, the isolated islands, and it takes a while to try and arrange transportation to isolated islands like in the Low Group, in the northern, further north islands in the Konrobe. And that is one of the main challenges that we are going through.
The MSAF has issued off 7,400 small boat operator licenses since 2012. Savera Tambua, FBC News.
The Land Transport Authority has revised some of its laws for the convenience of drivers. Manager Enforcement Deo Reddy says the changes are in favour of drivers who receive traffic infringement notices. Ana Ravulo reports the changes have been made to give drivers enough time to pay up their fines.
Drivers who were booked previously only had 14 days to pay their fines, which was later increased to 21 days. However, following request, it has now been extended to 90 days.
Previously, people were saying that you must pay your fine within 21 days. And it was a very short time. People said, we can't do it because the fine is $50 and I earn about $60 per day, per week. I can't make it. So we increased it from 21 days to 90 days.
However, there are laws that govern this 90-day period.
If you do not come and pay your fine within 90 days, then after 90 days, you cannot come and register your motor vehicle, nor your driver.
Accident Compensation Commission Chief Executive Pervez Akbar says in order to avoid paying fines, drivers must play their role.
Now, road safety is an issue that affects every one of us. And look, whether we are pedestrians, motorcyclists, drivers or passengers, road safety is a common challenge.
Meanwhile, the highest fine is around $200 if you're driving a vehicle without a valid registration, and the lowest fine is around $25 for speeding. Ana Ravulo, FBC News.
Social Democratic Liberal Party leader Sitiveni Rambuka will no longer be required to notify FICAC on his travels outside Suva. This as the Suva Magistrates Court allowed an application made by the Defence Council to drop the bail condition whereby Rambuka had to notify FICAC via email if he had to leave the city. The defence lawyer says Rambuka has to travel on short notice as part of his party's campaign. FICAC's lawyer did not object, however requested the other bail condition of not interfering with the witnesses be maintained. The matter has been adjourned to October 1st. Rambuka has been charged by FICAC under Section 24 of the Political Parties Registration, Conduct, Funding and Disclosures Act of 2013. A week-long training on gender-based violence and human rights is underway in Nandi for those in the civil service. This is the first ever training organised by the Fiji Women's Crisis Centre for those in government in the executive level. Felipe Naikaso reports.
Ensuring that leaders within the civil service know and understand the causes of domestic violence and how to respond to such matters tops the training program.
Looking at power dynamics, we're looking at the patriarchal society and women's position within that society, which then contributes towards the violence that is perpetrated against them.
The participants were also reminded that the statistics on violence against women and girls in Fiji do not lie.
Violence against women and girls in Fiji are among the very highest in the world. Rape and sexual abuse remain amongst the highest of serious crimes against women. Sexual harassment in the workplace and the glass ceiling are still a thing in our workplaces.
We often use culture and religion to keep women in subservient positions, and we often use that as an excuse not to let women advance, their participation in decision making.
More than 40 participants have gathered for the workshop, which ends on Friday. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Hindus flocked to Mysore Park this afternoon to mark the end of Ganesha Utsav. This festival honours the birth of Lord Ganesha, popularly worshipped for his ability to remove obstacles and bring good fortune. It falls on the fourth day after the new moon in the Hindu calendar. Follower Karam Bidesi says they mark the festival by installing Ganesha clay idols in their homes, chanting verdict hymns, praying and fasting for 10 days.
More than 100 members. They're all coming here. I think we are the biggest group.
and the second biggest group is Thailand, and third one is I think Moniveni. So all this all over Fiji. Yeah, the central one is from Navua to Thailand. We got the floats coming in.
Later in sports, Fijian players shine in French top 14 matches over the weekend. We'll have more from Melly on that. But before that, we join Rachel with all the day's business updates.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening. And coming up after the break, Fiji-China relationship continued to develop. And in Growing Fiji, FRA completes reconstruction on 7 roads. Stay with us.
Voila, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singapore. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singapore.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Leading business tonight, the second largest economy in the world, China, continues its commitment to Fiji. Chinese ambassador to Fiji, Jianbo, says bilateral relationships between China and Fiji is steadily developing. Kritika Kumar reports.
The Chinese ambassador to Fiji says they will continue to expand practical cooperation between the two countries.
Just in early August, RPs, the Navy Hospital ship of the People's Liberation Army of China, visited Fiji again after 4 years, providing medical services to more than 6,000 local people.
China has provided many opportunities for locals to better their skills and lives. Currently, 35 senior police officers are there for short-term training.
The Chinese community is a firm supporter of China-Fiji friendship, playing an active role in promoting exchanges and cooperation between our two countries and two peoples.
President Major General retired Chochi Konrothe has acknowledged the contribution.
Some prominent members of the Chinese society have prospered to become very successful, influential businessmen and women. Some have excelled in the sporting arenas, and others in the legal and medical professions, to name just a few.
Meanwhile, Fiji will be part of the China International Import Expo, which will be held in Shanghai in November. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
And we now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the exchange market.
A quick review of last week's trading on the South Pacific Stock Exchange. 7 listed stocks recorded market activity and share price movements. Amalgamated Telecom Holding shares were up by 2 cents to close the week at $3.12. Fiji Care Insurance shares made a gain of 10 cents and closed at $1.30. And Fijian Holding shares rose by 5 cents to $6.20. Meanwhile, Kontiki Finance shares dropped by 7 cents to end the week at a price of $1.09. As such, the overall market capitalization rose by 0.14% and closed the week at $2.66 billion. And that's the latest from our local stock market, Vinaka.
Thanks, Sharon. Taking a look at the foreign exchange markets as it continues to rise and fall according to the Trump-China trade war concerns. It was a mixed day for the Fijian dollar. It rose against our two major trading partners, the Aussie and the Kiwi dollar, as well as the euro. However, it slipped against the other major currencies we cover. As for the commodities market, the oil price was on a rise, closing at $71.60 per barrel, the highest price seen in quite some time. As for gold, it dropped to close at more than $10 to $1,197 an ounce, and silver closed at $14.26 per ounce. And in Growing Fiji tonight, the Fiji Roads Authority has completed reconstruction of 7 roads under the Suva Arterial Road Upgrading Project. The new roads have improved capacity, which allows a balanced traffic flow, particularly during peak hours. The FRA says this work will also help the prolonged life of roads by preventing premature deterioration and providing a smooth journey for motorists. The work was carried out by the China Railway 5th Group.
And that's it from business for tonight. Melly joins you now with sports.
Thanks, Rachel. Up ahead in sports. Fiji draw leads NRC table after yesterday's win. And Fiji under 16 and 18 teams seek nation blessings ahead of its championships. This and more coming up.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
The Fiji Airways draw side has again moved to the top of the National Rugby Championship ladder with 14 points after beating Sydney Rays 34-31 yesterday afternoon. The draw was trailing 19-5 at halftime and scored 5 tries in the second spell to seal the victory. Jordan Jackson Hope scored a try after the Siren-esque Canberra Vikings secured a thrilling come-from-behind 24-17 victory over the Queens of the New South Wales Country Eagles. The Vikings were trailing 17-14 throughout the match. 5 Fijian players were in their best form in the 5th round of the French top 14 matches over the weekend. Fiji Airways Flying Fijians giant winger Nemani Nandolo made a great comeback, while former Fiji Sevens winger Eronisa was perfect on his debut for Pepignan. Members of the national under-16 and 18 rugby teams today presented their itatau to the head of state as they prepare to depart for overseas duties. The under-16 team will head to Gold Coast, Australia to take part in the Junior Rugby Championship, while the under-18 boys will travel to New Zealand for a 3-match tour. Seeking the country's blessing is a must for any national team before departing for an international duty.
I understand it's going to be a very tough tournament. Enjoy the sights. I'm sure most of you will be traveling for the first time. By all means, make new friends. But always remember that you are representing your families, your schools, your villages, and our beloved nation, Fiji.
The under-16 side will play 4 matches in Australia from later this week.
They are going to be facing all the under-16 teams from all the franchise teams like ACT Brumbies under-16, those kind of teams. So it's very similar to our the Rua competition.
As for the under-18 side, they will be playing New Zealand Barbarians, New Zealand Maoris and the Wellington Samoans.
After playing these 3 teams, then that will determine whether we are able to go back and play Australia New Zealand next year.
Both the teams depart on Thursday morning. Meli Tavaga, FBC Sports. Melbourne Storm's Billy Slater will know whether he will get a fairy tale grand final farewell when he faces the NRL judiciary tomorrow. In today's Play of the Day, Tiger Woods' 5-year drought has come to an end in style, taking out the PGA Tour Championship in Atlanta, Georgia this morning. Woods shot a 1/71 as he claimed his 80th PGA Tour title. That was your tonight's sports segment. Angie joins you later on with weather. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, scientists move another step closer to creating lab-grown burger. That's it from me from this week. Good evening.
Narang golesenia, Obama ketegenakas, dorong-rong binakape on Radio Fiji 1 nandomibit.
Ayaw benyana, dorong on Radio Fiji 1 nandomibisi hingatoka.
Guado ilaisa hingatoka. Rong-rong binana heramakawa ina Radio Fiji 1 hingatoka.
Radio Fiji 1 nandomibiti.
In new media, does Alexa really need a screen? Well, Digital Trends puts the Amazon Echo Show review unit through its paces to find out. And it's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Hope you had an awesome weekend, though there were a few interruptions by rain. Throwing just a little light on today's weather, it was all gloomy with rain clouds and light showers. Taking a look in the west, it was a mix of sun and clouds. Eastwards from Pekaba to Suva, it was mainly clouds more than the sun, and showers will be around to cool the weekend heat off. And up north, skies were mainly blue with overcast conditions sheltering by afternoon. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots. For the tides, the next low tide will be at 1:01 a.m. Sunrise at 5:53. For tomorrow, those that wish for sunshine probably need to wait a few more days as the forecast indicates showers for now. Tomorrow's temps, all centers will reach the low 30-degree range. And looking further on to Wednesday, there is high chances of rain and windy spells. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji and Pulse tonight, we asked, are you aware of your voting centres for the upcoming election?
I've registered, but I have no idea where to cast my vote.
I'm already registered and I'll be voting at Ahmadiyya.
I've already registered, but I have to check where I have to vote.
I'm already registered. I'll be voting at Ahmadiyya.
Yes, I do. At the BMS school, Valentine Memorial School.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, can lab-grown meat ever taste as good as the real thing? Well, some scientists are claiming they may be closer than ever to creating a lab-grown burger as good as the real thing. Recapping the main stories for tonight, Rambha and Beeman talked coalition, man questioned regarding burnt buried remains of wife, and FEO reveals pre-polling procedure. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question segment, last week we asked, do you think a hotline will reduce the litter problem in the country? 52% said no. Now this week we are asking, are you aware of your voting centres for the upcoming election? Be sure to visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day, a flock of sheep grazing in Yangara Tavua, sent in by Nitin. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable new week ahead. Bye for now.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ लुम्बुआ से। जैसे प्रेनी नोट मशहूर है, वैसे रेडियो फिजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फिजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है, वैसे रेडियो फिजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।